How are you?
Good, thank you.
Ah, translate. That's good.
Shall I translate this into Croatian for you?
Jel se čuje prijevod koji slušaju na...
Just to make sure that all pilgrims who are listening to the translation on their radios are able to hear their translators. You're okay? You're all set? No. English-speaking pilgrims, you're okay. I'm here for you. I'll translate it. But Spanish-speaking groups, you're okay. Good. Perfecto.
Dragi prijatelji, želim vam reći neka iskustva iz Medjugorja.
Dear friends, I would like to share with you some of experiences from Medjugorje.
Volim uvijek poći najprije svog iskustva.
I always like to start with my own experience.
Na taj način se vraćamo i na početke.
And in that way, we're back to the beginnings.
Naime, 24.6.1981. godine najprije dvije djevojke, dakle ukupno njih 6, su vidjele Gospu na brdu.
June 24th, in 1981, 2 girls first saw Our Lady, and then the rest of the children did see her too. Altogether, 6 of them.
21. dan su onda pobjegli, jel?
First day, they ran away.
25.6. su se prvi put susreli s Gospom na brdu gdje je danas kip Gospe.
And on June 25th, those children met with Our Lady for the first time up on the hill, where today there is a statue of Our Lady standing.
26.6. mi smo koji smo tu u blizini smo čuli za taj događaj.
On June 26th, all of us who are living here in the neighborhood heard about what was going on.
Ja sam tu 5 km odavde rođen.
I'm born just 5 kilometers far from here, in a place 5 kilometers far from here.
I već 27.6. sam sa svojim prijateljima išao pješice, naravno, na brdo.
And already on June 27th, I went up the Appreciation Hill together with my friends, and we walked from our hometown.
I isto sam i od druge dane, svaki dan zapravo sam nakon toga išao.
And then every day after that day, I was going up the hill every single day.
Ali već 28. Dakle, već je 27. bilo jako puno naroda.
And already on June 27th, there were so many people up there. On the 28th as well.
Ali pošto sam ja bio malen, onda sam se mogao približiti.
But I was pretty short. I was a kid at that time, so I was able to go through the crowd and come quite closer to where they were standing.
I sad gledam njih koji su moja generacija.
And I was able to look at them, kids of my age.
Jakov mlađi 3 godine, drugi stariji.
Jakov was 3 years younger than me, the rest of them a bit older than me.
Gledam.
And I was able to look at them.
Kako oni gledaju nekoga, jel?
How they were looking at someone.
To je bilo vrlo snažno iskustvo.
That was a very strong, profound experience I had.
Teško za opisati, jel?
Very hard to describe it.
Već 28.6. tadašnje vlasti počinju djelovati.
And already on June 28th, at that time, government and the regime started acting.
I onda su taj dan, 28. su odveli djecu izvan Medjugorja.
And on that day, on June 28th, they took children out of Medjugorje.
On 29. su odveli na psihijatriju Mostar.
On June 29th, they brought 6 of them to the psychiatric unit of the Mostar Hospital to be examined.
Baš prošle godine sam bio s tom neuropsihijatricom, doktoricom Đuđa.
And Father Marinko is saying just last year I met that Dr. Đuđa, who examined them on that day.
Ja, neuropsihijatrica.
She was neuropsychiatrist.
I dakle njoj su doveli djecu.
Children were brought to her.
tadašnje vlasti, jel?
At that time, the government.
I ona je rekla, djeca su zdrava,
And she said, children are healthy.
a bolesni su oni koji su ih doveli.
Sick are those who brought them to me.
Tada je to bila jako važna izjava njezina.
And that was a very important statement that that doctor gave that day.
Ona nije pristala na pritisak.
She did not give her consent to the pressure that she was on.
I dakle, pritisci se naravno povećavaju stalno.
Pressures continued and they were becoming bigger and stronger.
I onda 17.8.
And then on August 17th in 1981,
specijalne snage okružuju Medjugorje,
special troops come and they surround Medjugorje.
I onda su zarobili fra Jozu župnika.
And then they imprisoned the parish priest, Father Jozo.
Ali narod nitko nije mogao zaustaviti.
But no one was able to stop people from coming here.
Ni taj dan kad je fra Jozo zatvoren.
Not even on that day when they imprisoned Father Jozo.
Narod je bio uvjeren da je Bog tu na djelu.
People were convinced, sure, that this is the work of God.
Dakle, dok je fra Jozo bio tu, prije zatvora,
Before being imprisoned, Father Jozo
on se pitao što činiti s narodom.
was asking himself what to do with the people who were coming.
I onda je rekao, hajdemo moliti.
And then he said, let's pray.
I tako se počela moliti krulica, slaviti Euharistija.
So in that way, Rosary was said, Holy Mass was celebrated, the Eucharist was celebrated,
I tako je ostalo do danas.
and it has remained so till the present time.
Samo što se program molitveni povećavao.
Only now the prayer program is a bit bigger.
Kad je Gospod rekla, na primjer, kad je Gospod rekla, klanjajte se Isusu, presvedno onda se klanjate, na klanjanje.
For example, when Our Lady through the children said, adore my beloved Son, the adoration of the Blessed Sacrament was introduced to the program.
Molite se pred križem, uvedena je molitva.
Pray before the cross, she said. Then the parish introduced prayer before the cross.
Kao večeras, na primjer.
For example, tonight we will have it on.
Postite,
Fast.
onda je, postite srijedom i petkom,
Fast on Wednesdays and on Fridays.
postite strogo,
Be strict when it comes to fasting.
postite o kruhu i vodi,
Fast on bread and water.
postite srcem.
Fast with the heart.
Tako da uvijek imamo Gospinu želju da nas vodi dakle, prema duhu, prema nutrini.
We always see this desire of Our Lady to bring us deeper inside of ourselves.
I onda su kasnije uvedeni seminari posta.
Then later on, the fasting retreats started here.
Upravo danas završava seminar posta za Litvu, za ljude iz Litve,
For example,
Bjelorusije.
today we are just ending the retreat for people from Latvia and
Bjelorusija.
White Russia.
Ti seminari traju 5-6 dana.
Those retreats are on for 5-6 days.
I tu su sigurno snažna iskustva.
And for sure, people have very strong and profound experiences there.
Evo, imamo naravno još Gospinih poziva.
There are many other calls of Our Lady.
Slavite Euharistiju srcem.
She said, celebrate the Eucharist. Celebrate the Eucharist with the heart.
Ispovijedajte se.
Go to confession.
I tako.
And so on.
Dakle, sad se pitamo koji je smisao svemu tome?
Now we're asking the question, what's the purpose of all this?
Što Gospod želi?
What does Our Lady want?
Sjetimo se, već na početku, prvih dana, Gospod kaže, ja sam kraljica mira.
Let us recall and remember that already at the beginning of the apparitions, Our Lady said, I am the Queen of Peace.
Mir, mir, mir.
Peace, peace, and peace.
Mir mora vladati između čovjeka i Boga i između ljudi.
Peace must reign between God and man and among people themselves.
To je Gospod rekla 26.6. do 81.
Our Lady gave this message back on June 26th in 81.
I na tom mjestu je postavljen križ, što je
And
ukazano.
at that place, up on the Appreciation Hill, there is a cross standing now.
Jer je Marija vidjelica vidjela križ iza Gospe.
Because Maria, the visionary, on that occasion saw a cross behind Our Lady.
Dakle, dok je to Gospa govorila.
As Our Lady was saying these words.
Kasnije ćemo vidjeti u kojem odnosu stoje križ i mi.
Then later we will see in what kind of relationship are cross and peace.
Dakle, Gospa nas ovdje vodi prema miru.
Our Lady here has been guiding us to peace.
Pokazuje nam put do mira
He is showing us the way to peace.
i želi da postanemo ljudi mira.
And she desires that we become people of peace.
I da mi mir širimo oko sebe.
And that we may spread peace around ourselves.
Tada kad je to Gospa rekla na početku 81.
At the beginning back in 1981, when Our Lady pronounced these words,
To je bilo jako čudno.
it was pretty strange, very strange.
Tadašnje vlasti su se pitale zašto poziv na mir?
At that time, the government was asking, why is the invitation to peace coming at
Jer
all?
mir je mir.
Because we have peace.
Evo, s vremenom sve više shvaćamo zašto.
By time, more and more we understand why.
Mir je potreban i tamo gdje nema rata. Ja?
Peace is needed even there where there is no war.
Svaki čovjek čezne za mir.
Every person desires for peace.
To je najdublja čovjekova želja i potreba.
That's the deepest, the most profound desire of a human being.
Ljudi kažu nekada zdravlje je najvažnije.
People sometimes say health is the most important.
Zdravlje je važno.
Health is important.
Svi mi želimo biti zdravi. Ja?
We all want to be healthy.
Ali mir je veća,
But
važnije. Mir je važniji.
is far more important.
I ljudi koji su zdravi, čeznu za mir.
There are people who are healthy and yet they desire for peace.
I ljudi koji su bolesni mogu imati mir.
And people who are sick can also be at peace.
I ako imaju mir, onda drugčije se nose s bolesti.
And if they are at peace, then in a completely different way they're coping with their illnesses.
Dakle, Gospod ovdje nama pokazuje put do mira.
Here Our Lady has been showing us the way that is bringing us to peace.
I uči nas.
She has been teaching us.
To je jako važno.
This is
Učiti.
very important to learn.
I da kaže, molitva je put do mira.
And she says, prayer is the way to peace.
Jer molitva je susret s Bogom.
Because the prayer is an encounter with God.
A Bog je izvor mira.
And God is the source of peace.
Ali ne ide to automatski.
But it doesn't happen automatically.
Ne ide to mehanički.
It doesn't happen mechanically.
Nego Gospod nas poziva na rast.
But Our Lady has been inviting us to growth.
Koja je najvažnija Gospodina poruka?
What is the most important message of Our Lady?
Što mislite?
What do you think? What do you say?
Pray.
Prayer.
Pray.
Da.
Oración, ayuno, penitencia, confess.
Obraćenje.
Conversion.
Gospod je rekla, obraćenje je najvažnija poruka koju sam dala.
Our Lady said, conversion is the most important message that I have given here.
Zašto?
Why is it so?
Ako molim,
If I pray
a ne obraćam se,
and yet I do not convert.
Neću biti, dakle, ne mora znači da ću biti čovjek mira.
It doesn't necessarily mean that I will become a person of peace.
Čovjek može moliti, a da ne bude čovjek mira.
A person can be praying and still not be the person of peace.
Može čovjek moliti, a da ne prašta.
A person can be praying and yet that person does not forgive.
Da mrzi.
That person hates.
I još gore.
And even worse.
Dakle, to je moguće, ja?
So that's possible.
I to želimo jasno, dakle, sebi reći, ja?
And we desire to say this clearly to ourselves.
To Isus pred nas stavlja, ja?
This is what Jesus is placing before us.
Sjetimo se kad stavlja pred nas farizeja,
Let us remember
carinika.
when he places in front of us a tax collector and a Pharisee.
Isus kaže, farizej, njegova molitva nije prihvaćena.
And he said, the prayer of the Pharisee is not accepted.
A molitva od ovoga carinika je prihvaćena.
And the prayer of the tax collector is accepted.
Zašto?
Why?
Zato što se farizej ne mijenja.
Because the Pharisee does not change.
A carinik se mijenja.
And yet the tax collector changes.
Dakle, farizej je potpuno uvjeren da je dobar.
The Pharisee is completely convinced that he is a good person.
A da su drugi loši.
And that the others are not good.
On ne vidi sebe.
He is not able to see himself.
Vidi druge.
He can only see others.
Hvala ti Bože što nisam kao oni tamo grešnici.
Thank God, for I am not as those other sinners around me.
Takav čovjek ne može biti čovjek mira.
That kind of a person cannot be a person of peace.
Zato što on vidi pogreške drugih.
Because he can see mistakes of others.
Drugi se trebaju mijenjati.
The others are those who are to be changed.
Ne ja.
Not myself.
Ja sam dobar.
I'm good.
Ako sam ja dobar, ja se ne treba mijenjati.
And if I'm good, I don't have to change.
Drugi se trebaju mijenjati.
Others have to change.
On misli da uzroci problema su izvan njega.
He thinks that the causes of the problems are outside of him.
U drugima.
That they are in others.
U politici.
In politics.
U ljudima.
In people.
U ekonomskom stanju.
In the economy of the country.
I tako dalje.
And so on.
To je tip čovjeka, jel?
That's that type, that kind of a person.
On kritizira druge.
He criticizes others.
On osuđuje druge.
He judges others.
Priča negativno drugima.
Speak negatively about others.
Sve zna što drugi trebaju promijeniti.
What other people should change about themselves.
Pravda sebe.
He's justifying himself.
On je zatvoren.
He's closed up.
Evo, carinik vidi sebe.
The tax collector on the other side is able to see himself.
I on počinje promjenu.
And he starts his change.
Zato Isus hvali njega.
That's why Jesus is praising him.
I zato je obraćenje najvažnija poruka.
That's why conversion is the most important message.
Bez toga,
without that,
dakle, sjetimo se izgubljenog sina.
Let us remember the prodigal son.
U jednom trenutku dolazi k sebi.
Who in one moment comes back to himself.
Vidi sebe.
Comes back to his senses.
Postaje svjestan svoga stanja.
He becomes aware and conscious of his own condition.
I tu počinje njegova promjena.
And that's where his change starts.
Drugi moment njegov je kad je povjerovao, dakle kad se sjetio oca i kad je povjerovao da ga otac neće odbaciti.
The other moment is when he remembered his father and when he started believing that his father will not reject him.
I vratio se ocu.
And then he returned to his father.
Zato je u Euharistiji, dakle na početku Euharistije je ovaj čin dakle kajanja.
That's why at the beginning of the Mass, of the Eucharistic celebration, we all pray the penitential rite.
To je to vidjeti sebe.
To be able to look at ourselves and see ourselves.
Sjetimo se kad Isus kaže, kad vidiš pogriješku, kad vidiš trunu oko drugoga,
Let us remember when Jesus said, when you see someone else's mistake or a splinter in someone else's eye,
nemoj najprije mijenjati druge,
do not first start changing others,
nego najprije okreni pogled prema sebi.
but first direct your gaze towards yourself
Vidi sebe.
and look at yourself.
Otkrij taj balvan u svom oku.
Discover that wooden beam inside of your eye.
Oslobodi se toga.
Be free, set yourself free,
I tek onda reagiraj.
and then do react.
Sjetimo se kad su ljudi uzeli kamen da ubiju onu ženu,
Let us remember the scene when people had their stones in their hands and they wanted to stone that woman.
što Isus kaže?
What did Jesus say?
Okrenite pogled prema sebi.
Jesus said, turn your gaze towards yourselves.
Tko je od vas bez grijeha,
Whoever is without the sin, let him first throw the stone.
to je nužno potrebno.
That is essentially needed.
Zato Isus kaže, nemojte suditi.
That's why Jesus says, do not judge.
Zato nas Gospod poziva, radite na svom srcu kako što radite u polju.
Why Our Lady has been inviting us, saying, work on your hearts as you work in the fields.
Raditi na srcu.
Work on your heart.
To je to, vidjeti sebe.
And that's what it means. It means to be able to see yourself.
Mi moramo preispitivati sebe,
We have to examine ourselves,
svoje mišljenje, svoje gledanje.
our way of thinking, our opinions.
To je ono što farizej ne čini.
That's something that Pharisee is not doing at all.
Dalje, dakle, ono što Gospod čini ovdje je uči nas kako otvarati srce.
What Our Lady has been doing us here is she has been teaching us how to open our heart.
To je jedna teška lekcija.
It's a hard, difficult lesson to learn.
Naš problem je uvjerenost.
Our problem is that we are convinced.
Ja sam uvjeren da sam dobar.
I am convinced that I'm good.
Farizej je uvjeren da je ispravan.
The Pharisee is convinced that he is righteous.
I to nas zatvara.
And this is something that is closing us up.
Sad, dakle, kako otvoriti srce?
And now, how do we open our hearts?
Već smo rekli, obraćenje je otvaranje srca.
We already mentioned conversion is the opening of the heart.
Carinik se počinje otvarati.
The tax collector started opening himself up.
Vidi sebe.
He can see himself.
Nadalje, ono što pomaže je vjera.
And something else that helps is faith.
Kao iskupljeni sin.
The prodigal son
Kad
story.
je povjerovao da ga otac neće odbaciti, nego srce se počelo otvarati.
He started believing that he won't be rejected by his father. His heart started opening.
Zato je vjera važna.
That's why faith is important.
I mi možemo rasti u vjeri.
And we can grow in faith.
Možemo vjerovati da Bog postoji,
We can believe that God does exist.
ali to je tek početak.
But that's just the beginning.
Rasti prema povjerenju u
To
Boga.
grow in trust in God.
Bog nama govori, vjeruj mi.
God is saying to us, trust me.
Vjeruj mi da te ljubi.
Trust me that I love you.
Vjeruj mi da ti prašta.
Trust me that I forgive you.
I kad povjeruje,
And when I start believing,
moje srce se otvara.
my heart is being opened.
Mir se vraća u srce.
Peace comes back into my heart.
Zato nas Gospod pozva na ispovijed, ja?
That's why Our Lady has been inviting us to confession.
Nadalje, slušanje otvara srce.
Listening also opens the heart.
Naravno, možemo slušati drugu osobu, a da ostanemo zatvoreni.
Of course, we can be listening to a certain person and yet remain closed.
Možemo slušati samo sebe.
We can just be listening to ourselves at that time.
Slušam samo svoje misli.
Listening just to your own thoughts.
Slušam tebe izvana, jel?
I'm kind of listening to you, but only from the outside.
Ali te ne slušam srcem.
But I'm not listening to you with my heart.
Evo, to je ono što nam može pomoći da shvatimo Gospin poziv. Molite srcem.
This is something that can help us to understand the call of Our Lady to pray with the heart.
Slaviti Euharistiju srcem.
Celebrate the Eucharist with the heart.
Klanjati se Isusu srcem.
Adore Jesus with the heart.
To je to. Dakle, srcem slušati drugoga.
With the heart to be listening to the other person.
A to znači, želim te čuti.
And that means I desire to hear you.
Želim te razumjeti.
I desire to understand you.
Ti se onda otvaraš.
And then you're opening up.
Ti se otvaraš za nešto novo.
You're opening yourself for something new.
Za nešto drugčije.
For something different.
Član jedne političke stranke ne želi čuti člana druge političke stranke.
A member of one political party does not want at all to listen to the member of another political party.
To je to, ne želim te čuti.
I don't want to hear you.
Marija je primjer slušanja.
Mary is an example of how we should listen.
Dakle, ona na početku ne razumije.
At the beginning, she does not understand.
Kako će to biti kada je muža ne pozna?
How is this going to happen, for I do not have a husband?
Ili u hramu, kaže Isusu.
Or in the temple, when she said to Jesus,
Dijete, zašto si nam to učinio?
Child, why did you do this to us?
Ne razumijem.
I don't understand.
Marija to kaže.
And Mary says it out.
Zato je to dobro je reći drugome.
That's why it's important to say,
A ne nositi u sebi.
to say it, not to have it inside of yourselves.
Ne razumijem te.
I don't understand you.
A što čini Marija nakon toga?
But what does Mary do after that?
Prestaje govoriti.
She stops talking
I sluša drugoga.
and she's listening to someone else.
Ne slušati samo sebe.
Not to listen only to ourselves.
Ne ostati samo kod svog gledanja.
Not just to stick to your own opinion and your way of thinking,
Nego slušati drugoga.
but to be able to listen to someone else.
Kako drugi vidi stvari.
The way someone else's can see things.
Tako se otvara.
And in that way, we are being open.
I Marija nastavlja slušati.
And Mary does continue listening.
I onda kad je anđeo prestao govoriti.
Even at the moment when the angel stopped talking.
I onda kad Isus prestao govoriti.
And when Jesus stopped talking.
Nastavlja slušati u srcu.
She continued listening in her heart.
Što Bog meni poručuje?
What God is saying to me.
Što je Božja volja?
What is the will of God?
To je to na što nas ona ovdje poziva.
This is what she here has been inviting us to.
Slušati srcem.
To listen with the heart.
Poziva nas, čitajte, tak stavite Sveto pismo na vidljivo mjesto obitelji i čitajte ga.
She said, put the sacred scripture on a visible place in your family home and read it.
Čitajte ga srcem.
Read it with the heart.
Kad ću čitati Sveto pismo srcem?
How can we read the sacred scripture with the heart?
Kad shvatim da je to napisano za mene.
When we'll do it, when we understand that that is written for us, for our sake.
Za mene.
For myself.
O meni se radi.
This is about me.
Dakle, dvojica učenika idu iz Jeruzalema u Emaus.
There are two disciples who are going from Jerusalem to Emmaus.
tužni, razočarani.
They're sad, they're disappointed.
A mi smo se nadali,
And yet we were hoping,
ali ništa od toga nije bilo.
but nothing of that happened.
I takvi ulaze u susret s Isusom.
And in that kind of condition, they entered into a meeting with Jesus.
A što je važno?
But what is important there?
Oni ostaju s Isusom na putu.
They remain together with Jesus on that way.
I ta slika tog puta s Isusom
And that image of that journey of theirs with Jesus
je slika molitve.
is the image of prayer.
Molitva je put,
Prayer is the way,
proces
a process
otvaranja srca,
of the opening of the heart,
otvaranja očiju.
of the opening of the eyes.
Vjera je put
Faith is the way.
i oni slušaju Isusa.
And two them were listening to Jesus.
I onda su njima budi srce.
And then their hearts were awakened.
Kažu, kasnije će reći, dok nam je putem otkrivao pisma.
Later they would say, while on that journey, he was revealing the scriptures to us.
Evo, tako čitati Sveto pismo.
And in that same way, we should read the sacred scripture.
Otkrivati,
To discover,
prepoznavati.
to recognize.
Ako tako čitaš Sveto pismo, bit će mi zanimljivo.
And if in that way I read the sacred scripture, I will find it interesting.
Uvijek ću nešto novo otkrivati.
I will always discover something new
O Isusu,
about
o
Jesus,
Bogu,
about God,
o ljudima,
and about people,
o sebi.
and about myself.
Nadalje, što otvara dakle srce,
Something else that opens the heart is
ljubav.
love.
Negativni osjećaji zatvaraju srce.
Negative feelings close our heart.
Ljubav otvara srce.
Love opens the heart.
Zato je važno moliti za ljubav.
That's why it's important to pray for love.
Gospod kaže, molite za ljubav prema osobi koju ne volite.
Our Lady said, pray for love for the person that you do not love,
koju ne možete oprostiti.
for a person that you're not able to forgive,
Sve dok ne osjetite
all
oprost.
until you feel that you have forgiven.
Sve dok.
All the way until
3 dana, 5 dana.
3 days, 5 days.
Isuse, daj mi ljubavi prema toj osobi.
Jesus, give me love for that person.
Tu ćeš osjetiti kako se tvoje srce mijenja.
There you will feel how your heart is being changed,
Kako se nešto događa u tvom srcu.
how something is happening down in your heart.
Ljubav kad počne djelovati,
When love is at work,
onda se srce počne otvarati.
then the heart starts opening.
Ljubav ozdravlja srce.
Love heals the heart.
Ljubav donosi mir.
Love brings peace.
Ljubav oslobađa.
Love sets us free.
Negativni osjećaji zarobljavaju
Negative feelings enslave us,
i upravljaju nama
and that they direct us,
i mi smo da zarobljenici.
and then we become prisoners.
Imate ljude koji su zarobljenici mržnje.
You have people who are the prisoners of hatred.
Važno moliti za ljubav.
That's why it's important to pray for love.
Križ,
The cross,
rekli smo na početku.
we said at the beginning,
Križ i mir.
cross and peace.
Gospod kaže, molite pred križem, s križa dolaze mnoge milosti.
Our Lady said, pray before the cross. Many grace come from the cross.
Uzmite križ u ruke i gledajte u Isusa.
Take the cross in your hands and look at Jesus.
Što Isus kaže?
What does Jesus say?
Uzmi križ svoj.
Take your cross.
Prihvati križ.
Accept the cross.
To To je put do mira.
That is the way to peace.
Ako ne prihvaćam sebe tako kakav jesam,
If I do not accept myself the way I am,
nema mira.
there is no peace.
Ako ne prihvaćam svoj izgled,
If I do not accept the way I look,
onda moram ići na plastičnu operaciju.
then I have to go and have a plastic surgery.
Sjećate se Prasveta?
Some of you would remember Father Svet. English-speaking pilgrims remember Father Svet well, I believe.
Jedna djevojka je došla k njemu,
There was this girl who came to him,
kaže, Prasvet, zare, pomozite mi.
and she said, Father Svet, help me.
Već sam 2 puta radila plastičnu operaciju
I already had 2 plastic surgeries
na licu
on my face,
i još uvijek nisam zadovoljan.
and still I'm not happy.
Kaže, Prasveta za njoj.
And Father Svet said to her,
Djevojko, pogledaj mene.
he said, girl, look at me.
Bez kose, ćela,
No hair, bald,
kriv nos.
crooked nose.
Ali djevojko, ja sebe vidim samo jednom u danu,
But girl, I see myself only once in a day,
izjutra.
in the morning.
I to ako se dobro umijem.
And if I really wash my face well,
Ostalo vrijeme me gledaju drugi.
and the rest of the day, it's other people who are looking at me.
Pa ako oni imaju problema s mojim izgledom,
So if they have problems with the way I look,
s mojim izgledom,
with the way I look,
onda neka oni operiraju svoje oči.
let them have the surgery of their eyes.
To je Father Svet.
That's Father Svet.
A to je tako mudro.
But this is so wise.
Kad prihvatim sebe,
When I accept myself,
sve se mijenja.
everything starts changing.
Mir dolazi u srce.
Peace comes into the heart.
Ako ne prihvaćam osobu s kojom živim,
If I do not accept the person that I live with,
nema mira.
there is no peace.
Ako ne prihvaćam neki križ, problem,
If I do not accept a certain cross or a problem,
nema mira.
there is no peace.
Ako prihvatim, mir se vraća.
But yet, if I accept it, peace comes back.
Ja se izmirujem s tim.
I am reconciled with this.
Sveti Franjo kad je zaglio gubavca,
When Saint Francis embraced a leper,
rekao je,
he said,
ono što mi je bilo gorko, postalo mi je slatko.
what used to be bitter to me now has become so sweet for me.
Srce se mijenja
The heart starts changing,
i sve izgleda drugčije.
and everything seems different,
I ljudi izgledaju drugčije.
and people look different,
I problemi izgledaju drugčije.
and problems look different.
To je ta promjena.
And that's that change.
Zato križ i mir u takvom odnosu stoje.
That's why cross and peace are in that kind of relationship.
Zahvaljivanje otvara srce.
Giving thanks opens our hearts too.
Zahvaljujemo.
Let's give
Kad
thanks.
iziđemo vani,
When we go outside,
idemo kroz prirodu.
we go in nature, through the nature.
Kad izjutra ustanemo,
When in the morning we wake up,
ali zahvaljujemo, uzmimo zahvaljivanje kao otkrivanje.
let's take this Thanksgiving as discovering.
Bože, hvala ti za.
God, thank you for,
I gledaj.
and then just look around,
I otkrivaj.
and then discover.
Pa ćeš otkriti cvijet,
Then you will discover a flower,
pa ćeš otkriti pticu.
a bird.
Isus kaže,
Jesus said,
pogledaj ptice,
look at the birds,
pogledaj ljiljane.
look at the lilies.
Kad zahvaljujemo, i oči se otvaraju.
When we give thanks, our eyes are being opened.
Bože, hvala ti za i primjetim cvijet.
God, thank you for the lily flower.
I gledaj ga,
And look at it.
zastani malo.
Stop there.
Gledaj i zahvaljuj.
Look and give thanks.
Otkrićeš ljepotu.
And you will discover
Počet ćeš se čuditi.
You will start wondering.
Radost će se u tebi buditi.
Joy will be awakened within you.
Bože, hvala ti za moju suprugu.
Lord, thank you for my wife.
Zastane malo.
And stop.
Bože, hvala ti za mog muža.
Lord, thank you for my husband.
I tako dalje.
And so on.
Bože, hvala ti za svaku osobu koja je ovdje.
Lord, thank you for every person present here.
Bože, hvala ti za svaku osobu na svijetu.
Lord, thank you for every person in the world.
Svaka osoba je lijepa.
Every person is beautiful.
Jer je Božje stvorenje.
Because it's God's creature.
Euharistija znači zahvaljivati.
The Eucharist means giving thanks.
Grčka riječ.
It comes from a Greek word.
Evo, dragi prijatelji,
So,
govorili smo o srcu,
my dear friends, we have spoken about the heart.
ali Gospa želi još nešto.
But Our Lady desires something else too.
Sjetimo se Gospina kipa ispred crkve.
Let us remember Our Lady statue in front of the church.
Ruka na srcu,
One of her hands on her heart
ispružena ruka.
and the other hand extended.
Budite moje ispružene ruke mira u svijetu.
She said, "Be my extended hands of peace in the world."
A o tome će nam govoriti naš dragi Jakov.
And Jacob will share with us a little bit more about all that.
Vidioc Jakov.
Visionary Jacob
Utemeljio
with us here today.